Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Red. Oh yeah, they got. Yeah, I have a little scrape on my arm. Didn't actually notice it. I saw it on the camera. But hello, everybody. Welcome back to the CCL Playoff Gauntlet. Comes down to this: 2 teams, 1 spot in the playoffs. This is what they have fought through. Simplicity, fighting their way through 2 teams already, beating Granite Gaming 3-1. Beating Sidestep Kings 3-1. But now all they have left is 30k. One of the best teams, 2nd place in the Icebreaker tournament. Seed number 4. In theory, the team that should be in this top 4, but they have to beat Simplicity to prove it. Will the underdog Simplicity be able to fight their way through, or will 30k show that this is their rightful spot? It comes down to this: 2 teams, 1 spot, 1 best of 5. Very exciting. I hope you're as excited as I am, because I am hype-a-reno. Alright, I'm bringing up the main stream so that I could have a peek. Oh, there's a white version of 30k's logo. I'll have to find that later for my overlay, because it's messy without it. Feels bad. Alrighty, let's close down Sidestep King's stats and bring up 30k's. Okay, then. So, Simplicity versus 30k. How are we going to sort this? The best of 5, in theory, the last time these 2 teams played against each other went in favor of 30k, unsurprisingly, because 30k are the higher seeded team by quite a bit, actually. I'm just trying to find the actual result now. 30k, it was week 2? No. When did they play? Am I blind? There we go. Week 4. A 3-0 in favor of 30k. Oh, wow. They ain't messing around. I did not see the maps. They're just going in. They do... Okay. No time to talk. Draft is happening. Who opened that door? Because they let the draft. Let's get this going. And we are starting off. It's CCL Playoffs. And this is our final series of the Gauntlet phase. Make sure to tune in when it comes down to next week, where we will have the bracket phase beginning. I'll be bringing you all of that as well. Let's get this started. Zeratul banned out first by 30k. I mean, this is the map choice of Simplicity for Volskaya Foundry. The Zeratul, Cure Zeratul, a little bit too scary, going to be removed from the board. No one wants to deal with it. Very sensible indeed. Simplicity. How did they open up? They banned the Hogger. Very tough to deal with, still hyper strong. First Hogger win we've actually seen in quite a while, that very last game that we just cast. So already fun to see the differences. 30k. Second ban, Medivh, Uther, all still banned away. The Uther composition, the double support Uther composition did win Simplicity a game, and there it goes. Uther is banned out, forcing the Medivh ban out of Simplicity, allowing Tychus or Stukov or Cassia or so many of those other options over to 30k. Let's see which one of these Simplicity chooses to remove. Excuse me. In terms of priorities, they ban the Medivh. There we go. Medivh has been played, of course, by 30k, 100% win rate. And they start off with the Cassia. 7 games, 71% win rate. Stukov, they actually have 10 games, but only a 40% win rate, which is why we are seeing them prioritize it a little bit less. You heard there, they use Mene to help them pick out their high priority picks for their players. So in this case, the Cassia, higher win rate. They're also running with Azerite today. Not running with Liam. Oh, wait, they are running with Liam. Who are they missing? Ty, I assume, right? Hang on. Checking out. Uni Clash League. I think it's Ty who they're missing. Okay, Sammy. Yeah, Tai is the one who they are missing today. So we're running in with Azerite, bringing in the Swedish power. Johanna and Kroby, though. Kroby let all the way through the draft. Simplicity pick it up immediately. They played so well with it in the last game they had it, and now they get to bring it out again. 30k, the Yorel for Liam. Very strong pickup here, and Muradin coming in. So they've got a lot of backline pressure with that Yorel. Try and just disrupt and annoy Kromy. Muradin will try and just zone away Johanna. Low cooldown, long range stun, very effective against the Johanna in this case. Simplicity. They take the Brightwing out of action. 30k's top support, again, Stukov, yet to be touched so far. Not yet going to be banned by either team. But Brightwing, top hero, played full stop, in fact, by 30k, with BBJ being the person who popularized the Brightwing support. 14 games played, 71% win rate. Next highest support, as we already mentioned, is Stukov with 10 games played. After that, which will be down to Deckard, 7 games, but with a 71% win rate. So still very effective. As Ada will be banned out. That's interesting. Could that lead us to a double support for 30k? With Cassia hyper carry. That's interesting. Or are they just afraid of the nano boost Kromy? According to my stats, we currently have 69 viewers and 70 subs. Math is good, fam. We do love math. With 1 off the 69-69. Malthael going over to Cure. With that double front line makes sense. And potential anti-heals. With Anna banned out. Simplicity reading a little bit further into it. They pick up that Malthael, Deckard, Kane, both of which have anti-healing capabilities to potentially shut down 30k if they try anything sneaky. So 30k, do they just lean a little bit more standard now? Orphea and Anduin. They in fact do lean very heavily into the more standard style. That Orphea will almost certainly be swapped over to Azerite. And Cassia will probably be taken by Hasu. Liam and Fury already on their main picks. Simplicity, second ranged, a second bruiser. Or a first bruiser, I guess, in this composition. They go with the Tychus. Banned out from them consistently in the previous series is given to Lutano in the first game against 30k. Is this smart? Is this a mistake? There we go. As predicted, Hasu on that Cassia. Azerite on the Orphea. Is this going to be enough? Will this work out for them? We're going to be getting ready to head into game number 1 of this best of 5 series. Who is going to come out on top? Winner goes on to play with Wildheart, to play with Oxygen, and to play against Crowd Control in the first round of the actual playoff bracket. Who will it be? It's gonna be hype. It's a lot to play for. Prize pool difference changes in between those positions. They've got to fight their way through. Can Simplicity continue the dream? Can they vanquish the 3rd team in a row? Or will they be knocked down by 30k? They've got the coach. They've got the power. Let's see what they can do. We're going to be getting ready to jump into that match very shortly. We're heading in. Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. We head into game number 1 of this best of 5 series. Our second series of the day. On the left, fighting from the higher seed, 30k. Running in with that Orphea, first one we've seen in a while. And Simplicity on the right, fighting their way all the way down from 6th seed, from 4th seed, 5th seed. Wow, I can't math. Fighting all the way down from 5th seed. Fighting through 2 teams to get here. Can they make their way back in? They've been given the Tychus again. Will it make the difference? Pleb Horse Masquerade report. Seen the Thunder Fury on the side of the Cassia. Stacking level 1, getting herself that little bit of a head start. Ooh, interesting. Muradin is actually going to be a little bit more flexible. Azerite backs away, plays it safe. Very nearly gets caught in the Deckard route, but is able to avoid that Scroll of Sealing. So let's see where we start. Fear the Reaper for the Malthael, which is currently duoing bot lane with Tychus as they try to take out Yrel. But that's allowing the rest of 30k to double soak a little bit quicker. Liam currently only down to half health, so it's holding well enough considering the amount of pressure that they have been dropped under. Yeah, as we already mentioned, Muradin. Oh, that's going to be a kill. Johanna taken out here. I was looking at Muradin talents. The third win for Muradin. He's expecting to take a lot of poke, so he's getting a little bit of extra out of combat sustain, trusting Yrel to do the tanking for them. First blood to 30k. Simplicity grabbing their turret. Same on the other side for 30k. Hasu and BBJ will be picking that up. 2 stacks of Thunder Fury so far. They heal themselves up. BBJ will be the one to take the turret. Items being acquired. Siege camps on the other side. Hosty going to be grabbing that for his team. Lutano, the sidestep. I thought he played for Simplicity. Able to dodge out the Stormbolt, avoid the 4-man gank. Very aggressive play by 30k. Not going to turn into any kills yet. Any more kills yet, I should say. Hand of Freedom on the board. Inner Light for the Cassia. The extra sustain. Push forward for Anduin. Sorry, Inner Fire for Anduin. In that extra 20% attack speed and 15% range. That's the important part of this. Trying to stay out of danger, trying to stay away from the enemy so that he doesn't get caught out of position. And Orphea, as the support camp, is picked up by Simplicity, also mixing it up a bit. Starting off the Ancestral Strength, pretty standard, but instead of going for the Backbiter, which we've been seeing a lot, instead going for the Elegrissimo. Hitting heroes, the end of Shadow Waltz hits that cooldown to 0.75 and reduces the cooldown of Shadow Waltz by 1 second. Going for a reset style, hyper mobile style, which could, in theory, build into a percentage damage style as this game goes on. Very interesting. I love the Allegrissimo style of play because it's so skill focused, but it's a lot rarer that we see it. We like a bit of Backbiter, there's a little bit of Chaotic Assault usually, but Allegrissimo a little bit rarer to see. But I like it. Keeps them mobile, keeps them moving. Die Alone for the Malthael. Cure, who is playing the actual offlane of this game, is actually building more of an offlaner style. But yeah, the 2v1 bot lane. Very interesting. Tychus has spent a lot of time down here. Level 7 hit for both teams. It's an Emerald Sapphire build. Pretty standard here. And we do see the Mind Devourer. Good long-range poke coming in for Orphea. Very old style build here. Very old-fashioned. Get that cooldown reduction, get that extra damage. See what they can do is Cure chases Fury, finds nothing. Sin's exposed, really adding quite a bit of damage to that. They're going to push into the bot lane. See what they can do down here, piling on some extra pressure. Malthael already starting on it. The percentage damage, of course, will work. Here comes Orphea and the Cassia. They try to get to Cure, but he teleports out of danger. Doesn't want to get himself caught out of position. Numbers advantage, pretty even between these two teams. There's one extra member for Simplicity, but although Johanna is going to back away, as is Tychus. Bottom lane, the lane of target, which is, again, still a little bit rarer than usual. They only get a tower, though. The defense, percentage damage defense, so strong. Coming out of Simplicity that very little value is gained. Liam leaps to freedom. Gets himself out of danger. Anduin at level 7 at the Binding Heal. So he heals himself for 115 plus 4% per level. Give himself a little bit of extra sustain, as again, he's gone for a very safe build here. BBJ really all about just keeping himself alive on the backline here. Wants to keep themselves safe, make sure they don't get burst down. Hosty works on the turret, same on the other side, but more people, so it's going to be a little bit quicker for 30k. Only 7 stacks on the Thunder Fury so far for Hasu, so still needs to keep stacking up, needs more. 7 stacks on Stormbolt as well. It's been a very passive game. Subdue's been taken, not too surprising to not see that stacked though, as level 10 is hit almost at the exact same time. Last rites. Light Bomb, crushing jaws. Absolute classic. Do we see Valkyrie? Are they going for a big CC chain? They do. They pick the Valkyrie. Bless Shield. Odin. Stay a while. Last rites were already mentioned, and we've already seen the usage of the slowing sands. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Liam stuns onto Cure. Valkyrie, goodbye Cure. Huge burst. They try to get him with the shielding potion. Bless Shield. Cure's alive. He's tanking through. He gets out. Goes in with the counter kill. Picks up 2 with the last rites. Getting Muradin and Azerite. Simplicity, the counter engage, and very reminiscent of yesterday and the series earlier. The second they get an advantage, Odin is popped and they siege. They try to get as much race on structures as possible. Every kill, every victory, they try to turn it into permanent damage. That is the style of Simplicity as they charge forward. Sieging the keep, sieging the fountain. Can't get anything more though as the Odin expires, so they instead turn their attention to the support camp. Invade attempt. Going to be tried, but Cure is able to get that Bardic Emitter. Azerite chases him down a little bit. Not able to go all the way. 8 stacks so far. Stacking proving to be a little bit difficult for the members of 30k. They're being kind of zoned out quite a few times here. Liam. Moving in, going to clear up as best as he can. Hasu going to help Azerite with this camp. Shouldn't have too much difficulty with that. They're going to delay it, buy some time for the next objective. They're not even going to leave anyone on it. They're just feeling brave. Just don't cap it. Double support camp rotation from Simplicity. Looking for Liam, but Liam making the most of his map awareness. Doesn't see people. He backs up to safety. Very smart. Very good play. Ancient Blessings. Raw for Johanna. Shroud coming in for the Malthael. A little bit of extra sustain with spell armor this time. Timeout for Chromie. Tychus, yet to pick. Q talent is the usual here, but you can easily go for the Neo Steel, and he does. Neo Steel plating going to help a lot against this Orphea or Cassia. A little bit of spell armor, lots of extra sustain here. Anduin busting out the speed of the Pious, keeping himself mobile. Bronzebeard Rage, no surprise there. War Traveler for Cassia, keeping herself on the move as well. Pretty standard stuff across the board. Orphea busting out the invasive Miasma. A little bit of AoE damage for when she's engaged on. And of course, healing for 122 for each hero hit, which is pretty nice. Already having to kite back quite a long way. Does not land the Q. Here comes Valkyrie, pulls in Deckard. They try to fend. Light Bomb is good, but where's the follow-up? Liam's not in position. Going to try and jump over the wall to try and get to the Legacy, but the support camp is already dropped. Double Biotic Emitters are down. Stay a while will force the disengage, but we're still going to see Yrel picking up Malthael on the backline. Liam able to escape. Azerite pulled out by BBJ there. And we do see 30k taking control. Able to find the kill in that fight. Health bars aren't looking the best right now, but it's still looking good. You can see Fury set up. He's looking for Hosty. Misses the stun, lands the slow. There's the jump from Liam. He's being very, very patient. Our defender is dropped, does not land the stun on the good angle, and Hosty escapes. Hosty moving as fast as he could the second that timeout ended to make sure that that stun did not put him in the enemy team. Great escape there. Able to retreat, able to survive. Level 16, a little bit closer for Simplicity, but the objective being controlled by 30k. Malthael pushing out the bot lane, going to get some sustain down there. Masquerade clearing up as fast as they can. Clean out the waves, get the sustain. Try and pick up another Biotic Emitter. They dropped their other two earlier. So they're forced to pick up another one. Again, no contention for 30k. 30k, they are fishing for their level 16. They've given up the objective to try and find level 13. They'd love to get it from killing Cure, unable to do so. You see that invasive Miasma coming in there for the Orphea. A little bit of extra wave clear. It's all nearby enemies, not just heroes, but for the heroes are what heal her and give her chaos, which is what gives her a great amount of sustain if she's heavily engaged on. It's a great counter-engage. Velen's chosen, no surprise there for the Yrel. And with level 16 advantage, Simplicity made the most of it. They, again, don't go for the objective, but they do invade and steal the turret. You're going to be the one to pick that up. 16 still not there for 30k. They're struggling to find it. And Simplicity, they're happy to fight when they're even on talent, so instead, they just make sure that they have a different advantage. They know 30k won't fight them until they're 16. So sure, let's just make sure that when that happens, we have the bigger advantage. Masquerade sneaking away. Good sidestep. And the spray on the way out. Titan Grenade for Tychus. Not too much of a reason to go for the anti-armor rounds when you're already running a Neosteel plating. Cure fears the Reaper to get away from Fury, who was rotating. Got a bit of risk. And the Protector is stolen by Anduin, who will finish off the objective and make his way down to the rest of his team. Fury finds the stun. Here comes Azerite. Can they follow up on it? Great teleport to dodge it. Infected by Asper does do the damage, though, and they should be able to find the kill. Turret is dropped to make sure that it's not stolen by 30k. 3 kills to 2 currently in favor of 30k, who creep their way forward. They're going to head down towards that bottom lane again, where the next objective will spawn. The reason that teams seem to be focusing this lane more than usual is because this is the lane where the third objective spawns, and that objective does enough damage to maybe end the game as Orphea gets absolutely bodied. So far, still only one person in this Protector. Liam is 1v1 in Kroby back here. Gets absolutely cucked by the conveyor belt, though. He can't get to him. Hosty's baited him. Has Liam gone too deep? Liam's going to back away. Oh, the Condemned stops him from going over the wall. Liam's in trouble, drops the stun. Zutano comes in, but it's going to be enough. Liam will escape. Protector has been abandoned. Second series, we've seen that happen. Feels bad. Feels bad, man. Get it, minions. Minions will finish off the Protector. That's going to be a good... They're in good shape right now. You can see the stone form for Muradin, even more sustained. He's very scared of that double percentage damage. That extra healing. Going to be a very big deal. Orphea, dead magic. Getting that ignore armor style. And that AoE auto attacks. Not going to go for the bound by anguish percentage damage. Just going for a much more aggressive team fight. If she gets engaged on, she can combine Invasive Miasma and Dead Magic to get a very big burst auto. Fury getting bodied. The support camp is picked up by Fury. Valkyrie pulls Legacy away from the team at the Crushing Jaws. Finds no one, though. But the support camp is dropped. Not enough to save Yrel. Perfectly timed that last right with the end of that Ardent Defender. Really nicely done. Simplicity. They take the lead in the kills. Wave clear once again being dropped. Odin expires, but with the grenade and the very big minion wave, this is going to be the fort going down in favor of Simplicity. Second fort of the game. The first one Simplicity have actually been able to get. They're close to level 20, which is why you can see 30k trying to gain an advantage elsewhere, but the problem is their keeps are now under pressure. Azerite porting back to base. The rest of the team will be joining them. Cassia left alone to finish off that camp. Double mercenaries pushing in. Slowing Sands already dropped. One turret set up. They're just going to try and finish that off. Taking it. Muradin is absorbing the aggro until the minion wave arrives. Cassia porting back right now. Making their way in. Level 20 in favor of Simplicity. They siege in. They're not playing hyper aggressively. They know they'll just get this fort with the camp. That's what's going to happen. 30k, they do not wish to take the risk pre-20. They let the keep go. And that's fair. That's good advice. Very good advice in this game is if they were to die while defending that keep, that game could have been lost. Instead, they lose the keep, which is extra map pressure, but they're alive to contest the next objective. The general rule of thumb is use the keep to defend you, don't use you to defend the keep. So we see Simplicity clearing out the minion waves, grabbing extra value as best they can. Radiating Faith, none can stop death, big red button. Respect the elderly, and the Piercing Sands. Chromie ready to do a lot of damage. So here's level 20. On the other side, Glyph of Faith. Going to be seeing the rewind for the Muradin. Really wants to get that double setup kill potential. Top lane going to be pressured because, of course, this is catapult lane now. This is where a lot of the pressure will be. Try to get onto Cassia. Onto Johanna, sorry. Not going to be enough to find the kill. The escape is real. Very nicely done. Very slow play. Both teams being very careful right now. The Orphea, by the way, going with the Eldritch Conduit. Getting extra spell power that stacks up, so the more shots that Orphea lands, the more spell power she will get. So if she can keep hitting heroes with those spells and keep landing auto attacks, her spell power will continue to rise. This will make her deadlier and deadlier as the fights go on. Fury dives into the backline. Cure is trying to zone the rest of the team as Fury is getting targeted all alone. The Emerald is on him, preventing the healing, and Fury leaping for freedom. The rest of the team is zoned out. BBJ slain on the backline. Stay on Elizabeth, respect the elderly, but Legacy in trouble, crushing Jaws. He knocks him out. Liam knocks him out of it, but they still get the kill. But that is 3 for 1. Liam is in serious trouble. Last rites might finish him off. He's trying to outrun Cure. Gets the stun, gets the mount, dodges the set. He gets demounted though, and here comes Cure. It's going to be rough. 1 auto. Last rites not actually off cooldown yet, but Die Alone will finish the job. 4 for 1 in favor of Simplicity. They crush through 30k, and looks like they might actually get their first robot. They may actually get this. Is it going to be enough? The Cassia sustain went for that rock stopper. The armor being eaten through by the Malthael and by the Tychus. The Chromie Siege too strong as well. Lutano finishes off the fort, meaning that this Protector is either going for core or keep, most likely keep. Too much duration to fight their way through, so it's very unlikely that Simplicity would push up. We are in a bit more of a downtime while we wait for heroes to respawn. And wait for Simplicity to finish that Protector. Gonna grab their own turret and get ready to siege the bottom lane. This will be where they can gain quite a lot of momentum. Ooh, they don't want bottom lane. They want mid lane. Make up your mind. Also, Deckard, get in this Protector, lad. Interesting. They're scouting to see if anyone's trapping them on the rotation. The Protector not joining up with the rest of the team. The rest of the team clearing the waves. They're being very, very patient with this. Simplicity looking for their opportunity to strike. Playing with Vich. This 30k did hide themselves, making sure that they weren't spotted. But the Simplicity had to be a lot more careful on their rotation. Odin with big red buttons, so that extra duration, extra burst is available. Seraphim just burned by Liam. Rocket Punch disables the keep. Level 7 is achieved. They just abandoned the Protector for Bless Shield. They pick up Orphea, and Urel is not looking so hot either. Able to back up. The Protector is reacquired, and they push their way through this keep, and they're heading for core. Fury trying to cause a distraction on the backline. Does pull the Protector back by some time. Liam dropping low, sniped by the Protector with the Gatling gun. And with that, Simplicity are marching for core. Hasu, BBJ, and Fury. There's the light bomb. Valkyrie onto Hosty, who times out, and the Protector is going to ignore everything that is happening and just hit the core. Hosty is trying to just distract and buy time. They turn it around. Fury dropping low. Hasu is all that's left, and he will go down. BBJ cannot finish Hosty alone. Fury grabs a catapult, but the core goes down. Game number 1 goes over to Simplicity, and they continue their dominant tear through the playoff gauntlet. Simplicity, they just keep winning. Looking very, very strong in that game number 1. 12 kills to 4. Lutano sieging in over and over. And again, Cure on this melee assassin style of Malthael, very reminiscent of the one success when it came to HGC 2018 at BlizzCon. It was very successful until they played against a certain type of team, or it just started getting banned out. Can Simplicity continue that level of success? Or will they be eliminated as the series goes on? 30k on the back foot, already a game down. Can they keep it going? The Radiating Faith at the end. The insane play of abandoning the Protector mid-fight under keep to bless shield with the Radiating Faith to guarantee that they got the lockdown they were looking for. Very nicely done by Simplicity. A very smart strategy to guarantee that they could pick up a kill earlier on and give themselves that man advantage heading in. Very nice. Very well done indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting ready for game number 2 as soon as possible. I'm keeping an eye on the main stream, seeing if I can get those map bans to you so that we can talk about them. If you are enjoying, consider dropping a subscription or a donation to show your support. CCL and Roll20 are not paying me for CCL, so I'm doing this purely on the generosity of all of you wonderful people at home. Your generosity has been incredibly kind. Our goal to hit 100 subs before the end of January. We are at 70 right now, so 30 needed left to make it to that 100 sub goal. Still quite a bit, but it is doable. And then we'll have to come up with a new goal to keep it through February, probably 120. And we'll just keep it scaling throughout the year, if we can. Because I'm going to cast as much as I can. So, very nicely done. Simplicity showing their hyper-aggressive style still continues to work. It's their own meta style compared to a lot of these other teams, playing a lot more aggressively, really punishing that backline and playing very, very well with it. It's working nicely for them. Will it continue to work throughout the rest of the series and against those top 3 teams? Remains to be seen. 30k. Starting off pretty normal style of draft, but getting punished pretty heavily there. Muradin really went in for extra sustain, but got punished hard by the fact that that anti-healing from Deckard, which is exactly why they banned Ana, was just too much of a problem for them to deal with. Very nicely executed by the members of Simplicity. I'm impressed. I am impressed. They're looking solid. They're looking good heading into game number 2. 2 wins left for Simplicity to make their way into that Final 4 where they will play next week. Remember, they will be playing against Crowd Control, the number 1 seed. Very hard to deal with. Very strong team. Last time those 2 teams played against each other, Crowd Control were able to win in a 3-0. The last time 30k and Crowd Control played against each other, it was a 3-1 in favor of Crowd Control. Crowd Control looking very, very solid heading into this. So, maps. Banned. Battlefield was banned by red. Sky was banned by blue. Dragon and Volskaya were picked by Simplicity, who are red. So, yes, Simplicity banned Battlefield and are now taking us to Dragonshire. And 30k banned out Sky and have opted for first pick again. If Simplicity beats 30k, Masquerade will be cheering. Revenge! We will have to see. Have to see if he can keep it up as the draft is beginning, ladies and gentlemen. Let us head into that and get started with game number 2. Let's get this underway. Masquerade looking for revenge against his old team. 30k traded him away, choosing to pick up Fury instead. And then Azerite as their 6th player. Let's see what they can do as we head in. 30k, first pick, first ban, Dragonshire. Immediately, Rexar leaps up in priority. Incredibly strong on this map, great control over the objective. But they stick with the Zeratul ban. Still too scary. Cure has been causing them a lot of problems. Hogger, another hero on this map who can have a very good time. He gets great control over these shrines. Taking him out of action gives you a little bit more freedom over that off lane. Sticking with the Uther ban, they know Simplicity will run this double support style. They're just removing it from the play field. And Medivh will be banned away as well. This leaves Chromie. This leaves Cassia. See Stukov. This leaves Rexar. Plenty of options, even ones I have not mentioned. Taika still available for both teams. 30k, gonna start off with the Rexar. Now they have two options for this. They could either run this very easily in top lane with Liam playing it, or Rexar could be run by Hasu. Hasu has run ranged Rexar quite a few times, and it's led them to great success. They have a very solid win rate with that. The ranged assassin Rexar has been a nuisance. They currently have an 80% win rate on Rexar over 5 games, which is a 4-1 win ratio. Working very, very well in their favor. Going to be seeing a Hosty on that Cassia, and Legacy gets to play the Brightwing again. Stealing that away from BBJ, who hasn't been playing it as much in the later weeks of this season, but it is still a very strong pickup. A lot of the teams have moved away from it, but 30k and Simplicity still very much fans. They go for Deckard. Deckard, a solid counter to the Brightwing. Anti-heals to disable the great teleport value Brightwing offers. And Li Ming being hovered for Azerite. Again, they're still leaving it open that they could run Rexar as their second ranged hero here and still put a different offlaner in play. Very flexible drafting coming in from 30k here. Very smart indeed. Imperius will be removed. That burst damage could be very hard for them to deal with, especially with Cassia being a little bit more of a close-range hero until we get to level 13. So it makes sense to remove that Imperius. He's very, very tough to deal with. Okay, ban the Diablo. Diablo, a great hero against Rexar. Find the angles, try and dive the Ogre in the back line. Much like a regular ogre, like an onion, it would need peeling. Simplicity now. They still need tank, they need offlane, they need second damage or second bruiser, second support even. They go for Sonya and Johanna. They left themselves open to any of those options that we just said. Second bruiser, second damage dealer, second support, all still viable with this composition, as Sonya can easily pick up any slack when it comes to damage. Giving himself a lot of flexibility here. Slam build Sonya can actually kill the bear up top as well. So 30k, do they try and hard counter Sonya? Or do they let Rexar take top lane? Malthael and Varian. Very, very single target focus here. Now, do they swap? They don't. So yes, Malthael to hard counter the Sonya. It was the bait. Gonna go with that Die Alone style of build, most likely. They can't swap yet. The last pick hasn't come in. So yes, they could either run Rexar up top for point control, or run Malthael up top to control the Sonya, or run Malthael in the 4-man for stacks on his Black Harvest or Last Rites, depending on what style they go for. They have plenty of flexibility in options here. Do they swap? The answer is no. So yes, they were waiting. Ranged damage Rexar for the flex player Hasu here. Malthael to counteract Sonya, and Genji now being picked up as some backline pressure for Deckard, Li Ming, and to a lesser degree Malthael. Try and keep the pressure on them and to follow up and finish off the kills set up by Cassia and Sonya. Very smart drafts by both these teams. Very intelligent drafting. 30k definitely set the trap, but that Genji gives them a little bit more freedom. It will give them a lot of flexibility and great rotations. Genji, of course, one of the best rotator heroes on the map to really get between lanes and assist the top laner, who, as we said, if Sonya doesn't land the spears, Malthael with Die Alone should be able to win that duel pretty effectively. There's two things Malthael should not do if he wants to win. 1, get hit by the spear. 2, fight in the minion wave. If he can avoid those, they should be able to take the fights. As on the left, 0-1 down. But in the higher seed, 30k. I'm going to fight their way back through. Hasu running that ranged assassin Rexar for the multiple time. He's played it quite a few times during the regular season. And Simplicity, bringing out a much more standard comp here. Very normal, but the Genji, something they ran earlier on in the playoffs, a little bit more of a surprise. Very nice to see that. Slam build Sonya, no surprise there. Thunder Fury. Laws of Hope for the Cassia. For the Johanna. Why do I keep calling her Cassia? Let's see how they start off. Fear the Reaper. The lane's already very split. 30k. There is always one team that should have a worst level 1 fight. 30k have managed to have checked out their composition, and they have realized that it is them. They have a lot of stuff that is based on scaling and not getting caught out by someone like Sonya. So instead of trying to take a fight where they would almost certainly lose, there is a chance they could win, obviously. If they got set up, the double stuns from Rexxar, they could have a chance. But with Varian not having his heroic until level 4, and basically not being a decent hero until level 4, they have analyzed it and realized that it would be way more sensible for them to not give their opponent a fight that their opponent should win. Very smart, very safe. They have Hasu currently soloing in the top lane. The 2-1-2 split. Hasu with the Spirit Swoop clearing out the lane, as Varian holds the lane with Malthael. Genji rotating between. Camps being taken by both teams. We see 30k brought Rexxar down from mid, and Sonya is going to try and invade. Cure stunned out. They're going to try and focus him down. Here comes the Brightwing teleport in. Camp is just available. Bear going to stand on the point, but the Bear is dropping down, and the invade is a success. A little bit of damage is dealt on the way out, but a very successful engage using Cure as the bait there. The Bear tankiness at earlier levels is not insane, so a very good setup, very nicely done. 30k, able to re-hold control of bot lane. Going to be re-channeling that in their favor. But Simplicity taking another lead here at the start of this game. Very cool to see, as we do see Hasu just continuing to clear out the lane as best as he can. Unstable Anomaly for the Brightwing. We're going to see no crazy Dream Shot style. This is not the map for it. Taunt for the Varian, of course. He is the main tank. There's Die Alone. Here's where Malthael is about to get very, very scary. And now they have Taunt. The roaming kill squad begins to get its value. We see a big group up of members in that mid lane. Liam playing very far back. Varian trying to pick up the kill onto Johanna. It's going to get that shattering throw later on to really bully Johanna out of lane. Which is exactly, by the way, why we don't see the cooldown reduction on level 1 for the Johanna. It will be burned through by Varian. Instead, goes for the healing, trying to make value out of the fact that he won't pick the mortal wounds. Very nice to see. Hunter-Gatherer for Hasu. He's just trying to sustain up. But this is mostly for the armor later on, as he does try to sustain his way through. Hosty trading out onto the Bear quite nicely. Double channel is available, but with the rotation coming in, they're not going to drop the Taunt, but there is enough to allow the Bear onto the point, and they will take control of bot lane. Top lane, though, currently under siege. Liam clearing out the minion wave, but between Cure and Lutano, they eat turrets pretty quickly. A Die Alone value, getting a good chunk of damage onto Cure there. Cassie is going to reclaim bot. No one showing up there. Brightwing arriving top, assisting out Cure here just before picking Peekaboo, so missing a little bit of shielding value. But with the minion wave coming in, that top fort's going down. Liam outnumbered, getting pressure. This is just a consistent issue. Victory rush for the Varian, the easiest sustained talent. Stun cooldown reduction for Hasu. Bear in position. The Emerald will help quite a lot. And the extra shielding for Genji, going with that augmented defense. Trying to stay sustained, stay powerful. 100% of the damage blocked as a shield for Genji is pretty freaking decent. Poison Spear once again for the Sonya. Fury trying to tank through, but how long can he sustain? They are outnumbered. Steps up, gets the shielding from the potion, still wants to maybe move forward, but they are outnumbered. They are being bullied. They do capture top lane, though. Rexxar's holding mid still. They're just trying to make the most of the value. Trying to deny experience, but Sonya is split soaking, double soaking 2 lanes here. That's going to force Hasu to come down here. They're going to try and take advantage of the numbers. They stun out Cassia. The taunt lands. The cleanse a little bit early, but no follow-up onto Hosty. Too far under towers to take the risk. With Genji flanking, it was a little too dangerous. They avoid the fight. Double channel for just a second before Cure, who'd made his way back up to top, is able to reclaim this. Bear's in position, does not land a stun onto Masquerade. Very slow game to start us off. 0 kills at the 5-minute mark. Despite the best efforts of quite a few of the members here. Going to be backing up. Good bear interrupt on the rotation. Hasu keeping the pressure on. 8 stacks on that Hunter-Gatherer. Malthael reclaims top. That's actually going to be a double cap here. Can 30k take control? Sonya's in position to try and interrupt. She's heading top. There we go. The bear's going to have to interrupt her. And we see a very quick rotation for the rest of Simplicity to make their way to mid. And that will prevent the cap from being taken. With enough members mid, Sonya now makes her way top to reclaim control and prevent that double cap from going in. It's level 10 is available for both teams. Warbringer for Varian, extra charges to keep himself sticky and run down those tankier members. Everything else pretty standard. We do see a last rites. It's a leap for Sonya and a Valkyrie for Cassia. Dragonblade coming in for Genji. This is where it gets crazy. Simplicity with a much more aggressive style. Waves cleared out. A little bit of camp pressure onto bot lane acquired by 30k. Azerite really trying to get a lot of value down here. Here comes the charge from Lutano. Fury getting healed up and backs away. Staying nice and sustained, staying healthy. You see, look at that. Malthael, he started capping top lane, but backed up when he lost vision of Sonya and Genji, and he was 100% right. They were both rotating top. Was able to avoid danger that way. There's the taunt onto Johanna with the stun follow-up. Iron Skin is burned, but the balls are unleashed. Is the damage enough? Yes, it is. Final shot from Azerite with the Calamity, able to finish off the kill. First blood at the almost 7-minute mark goes over to 30k. 30k siege their way in. Fury's looking for one, lands the taunt, bear follow-up, root comes in, cleanse, not enough, follow-up, sleep, when's the taunt off cooldown? Is it enough? They chase forward, but Legacy escapes. 30k really looking to capitalize on that. Top fort will die, but bot fort will likely follow, making this a likely 1-for-1 trade. But with the kill going over to 30k, they come out a little bit further ahead there. 2 kills on a fort is better than no kills on a fort. Sonya started the Bruiser camp. Malthael doing the same on the other side. Another Bruiser camp taking in bot lane. 30k trying to capitalize on their victory. Getting ahead, grabbing multiple mercenaries to take value there. Masquerade clearing out bot lane, grabbing a little bit of extra sustain value there as the Bruiser camp comes in. Lutano gonna draw a little bit of the aggro on that. As Masquerade moves in. Cure spears his way onto the objective, forces Fury to back up. That is a full 5-man rotation. With Azerite not there, they don't want to take the risk. Azerite's been sent up top lane to see if there's anyone else there to help clean out this mercenary. There is, in fact, no one else there, so they will claim bottom. That is the double channel. You see Azerite, look at that rotation, so smart, sees everyone there. There is leap available, Wave of Force is used, Malthael is in trouble. They did figure this out, but they might not get away with it. Great map awareness. Stay one listen is going to be used. Azerite may actually die here as well. And there it is. Nice sweep there. Valkyrie's used onto Hasu, and that's a triple kill. Can they make it a quadra as they chase in Fury, rushing him down? There's the Warbringer to get him out of danger. But that was beautifully done. Let's have a look at that again as we see the double channel will be shut down. So you can see here, they figured this out as they came in for the engage. But the Dragonblade, too good at focusing down Liam. They were able to split enough from Brightwing that there wasn't enough healing to keep Liam alive. And then by that point, enough people are low enough that the Genji picks up the kill. The great rotation to cut off not only the escape, but the reinforcements of 30k. Simplicity won that fight very, very convincingly. They've picked up the Dragonite of their own. They're going to be bringing that to the bot lane as Hosty grabs his team a siege camp as well. Able to aggro that before it despawned. There's a taunt, focus in, Brightwing teleport, and Cure turn around on the leap. Goodbye, Azerite. Cure with the turnaround play. They face their way in. You can see the Emerald a little bit too slow to prevent the healing from Brightwing. Legacy able to top him up, and they're able to take a very convincing fight. The Bear and Li Ming both take it out. In the meantime, Dragon Knight and Camp going to be pushing into the bot lane. The shattering throw from Fury was attempted, but it did not get the value they wanted. Ruthlessness for Sonya. Maximum damage build coming in. Really committed just to murdering people. Taunt under the tower. There's the Valkyrie into the terrain, though, so not getting the value. But Cure able to spin his way to freedom. Rampage coming in for Sonya. Not going with the percentage damage. It said auto-attack damage. Very interesting. You do not see this talent very often, as we do see the rest of the members of Simplicity backing up. But Rampage coming in, 25% extra damage. Each attack lowers the cooldown of Mystical Spear by 1.5 seconds. It's not percentage damage, but with that Poison Spear, it's a lot of damage. It can get really, really strong. The Simplicity. They're hunting for kills right now. They are playing very aggressive. Genji going to clean out top. But 30k, they play safe. They are actually staying as a group here. They didn't send Malthael up top to clean out yet. They'll wait till it's pushed up a bit more. Gonna wrap around. They have 16 even talents. They find Hosty, Masquerade, and Cure. But remember, Leap is off cooldown. They could be turned on very quickly. There's the charge. No taunt yet. Bear from the other side finds Cure, finds Hosty, only stuns Cure. Hosty is okay as he's able to creep away. 4-man Leap. There comes the kill onto Hasu. Azerite's going to be killed by the Dragon Blade again. And Simplicity completely destroyed 30k. Only Malthael survives. He's on the run, though. I'm concerned if Liam will actually live this. Nope, Liam will get out. But a massively convincing win by Simplicity in that fight. 8 kills to 2 as they begin pressuring a keep. Bot lane is, of course, the lane they focus on. This is the best lane to focus because it is a double siege camp, single bruiser lane. There are very few other triple camp lanes in the game. So they focus onto this bottom lane. They have minion wave just about to arrive for now. They're using the extra sustain. Lutano, they're trading aggro on people. Cure takes a couple shots, but with the minion wave arriving, Liam is going to try and drive them back. Forces Masquerade to back away. Very convincing fight. Simplicity looking strong with the objective only 4 seconds away. Liam speeds his way top, thinks about the camp, decides against it. They have to look for kills. They look for Lutano. Lutano's just going to go over the wall. He's used one of his escape tools. How much does he know? He backs up. He knows something is amiss. So he plays it safe. He backs away. So instead his team goes to get the Bruiser camp. Fury, they're going to try and invade that. They want to fight before level 20, but they're too late. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to take pre-level 20 fights. But right now, 30k, they cannot find Simplicity. Simplicity are just a tad ahead of them. They go in, camp already done. Not worth fighting under it. Too much damage. Level 20, 1 level away. 30k, they are being shut down at every step. They are trying everything they can to keep themselves in this. But they are having issues. Clear it up. Bruiser camp is taken. Cure gets the Dragon Knight. 30k not able to contest pre-20. They're trying to just soak as much XP as they can, but look at this. They are 2 levels away from level 20. Less than a level for Simplicity. As they bring that Dragon Knight bot lane, they've already weakened it. Clear out the Siege Giants. 1 Siege Giant still remaining for Simplicity. They try to taunt Masquerade. Try to finish him off, but the damage dealers weren't in place. Azerite wasn't there. And with that, the engaged, their chance of getting a kill before this happened is scuppered. Liam sent behind mid, keep so that he has to remount to return. That keep will fall. 1 Dragon Breath will be enough. So they dive past the Dragon Knight. Fury goes in. Taunt, but Bless Shield for the turnaround. Stay one and listen with the balls are unleashed. They get the kill onto Cassia. They keep pushing forward. Resets from Azerite. Legacy is so low. He's just maybe a couple autos of the Calamity away, but it's not enough. The punt from the Dragon Knight prevents the second kill. Legacy barely escaping. Gonna port back to base here to stay alive. Genji was not available for that fight. Makes his way up to top lane. We see the Ariat Crater coming in once again for Sonya. Nice to see. Invisible Friends radiating faith. Cassia yet to pick her level 20. Taking a little bit of time on that. We'll keep an eye on her. See what she ends up going for. Genji going with the Dragon Becomes Me. Every time Dragon Blade hits an enemy, that duration is increased by 0.5 seconds. 5 seconds, I think that is. It's just a weird full stop there. And if any enemy hero is killed, 1.5 seconds. So I guess that is 0.5 seconds. And then 1.5 seconds of being hit by Dragon Blade. Nope, sorry, it is 5 seconds. And if they are hit by Dragon Blade, Swift Strike's cooldown is reset. There we go. We figured it out. Cure clearing out the bot lane. Getting some value for his team. They can't afford to be out-pressured here. 30k, they're creeping up on 20. Simplicity have their lead. They can't afford to let it go, so they can't afford to just let stuff push naturally. No one can stop death. Don't even bother. Glory to the Alliance for the Varian. Extra healing. Keeps them sustained. Especially with Ancient Blessings, it will help out. The kill command. The root for Rexar. Respect the elderly. And Talrashar's elements. The bear. Going to be scouting the most. They see that this camp is not being taken. Invisible Masquerade creeping forward. They do see him. Surprise Cure. They can't afford to group up too much, remember. Ariat Crater is the threat. You can see BBJ and Hasu both splitting off to prevent that from happening. Camp going to be taken by Simplicity. Masquerade grabs that. 30k. They don't go any further, but they are clearing out the waves. They will capture bot, and they're actually going to be able to get their own camp by the looks of it. Malthael will start that. Bruiser, though, being taken by Simplicity. That's going to be mid-pressure. Waiting for it to spawn. So there's a little bit of timing left for 30k to actually kill off that bottom camp as well. That gives them a little bit of value. And it looks like they're going to try and maybe turn this into a push. No, there we go. 5-man rotation. Bruiser camp is taken. Both teams grouping up quite a lot. Remember, I do not control the observer camera, so apologies there. Blink heal. Keeping Cure. Dodged by the bear. Fury comes in. Taunts onto Cure. Cure backs away. Here comes the Brightwing teleport to keep Cure up. Leap still available. Bless you with Radiating Faith. Liam dropping low. Valkyrie catches Decker. There's the leap. Ariat Crater. The balls are trapped inside. Down goes Decker, but we do see Sonya take it out too. Hosty goes down to the last rights. Lutano barely escapes. And 30k actually come out ahead in that fight. The balls got trapped inside the Ariat Crater. Let's see that again as the double channel will come in for 30k. You can see Sonya. She finds the moment the second the Valkyrie comes in. Valkyrie comes out, finds it, and it catches Varian and Deckard, who drops Ancient Blessings just before he dies, allowing the reset, allowing Li Ming to dive in and pick up multiple kills in that fight. Very nicely done. Liam grabs the Dragon Knight for his team. They have no healer, but they do have the big Dragony boys. Goodbye, Lutano. Top lane pushing very, very hard. We're going to see Hasu making his way up there. They've got to actually clear that because that will be dangerous. 11 seconds left for Cassia. Dragon Knight right now pushing in mid. They can't really afford to pressure a keep because they will be outnumbered. With Hasu not being here, it's a 3v3. It's not worth the risk. Mid 4 does go down. Dragon Knight loses over half its health in doing so. Defensive positions taken by Simplicity, playing it very safe, losing only a fort and taking a good chunk of top keep is big value for them. Using the Dragon Breath as a scouting tool. Last remaining fort in the game is the name of the game for 30k as they push their way up. Going to try and get a little bit of extra value onto that. That passive XP over time, not as necessary, but that passive catapult pressure is good. There's the charge. The balls have been unleashed. Multiple members are rooted. Ariat Crater once again is catching BBJ. Valkyrie pulls him in, and BBJ, he's barely surviving with the potions, but it's too much. The pressure is good. Lutano kills off the bear as well. We'll get Fury too, and Lutano with the perfect Dragon Blade this time picks up the kills. With 2 members down, they race to bot lane, and they're going to try and take this game here and now. You can see in this fight a perfect engage. The leap was good, but look where Genji is as he moves into the backline. He's already putting a little bit of pressure onto the backline, but he dives back away from danger, away from Malthael, the person who's been causing him the most grief in that fight, to stay alive and turn that fight around. Here comes the core attempt from Simplicity to take a 2-0 lead in this series. Aria Crater! As Liam is deleted, Azerite is deleted, and that just leaves Hasu. He's unleashing the ball. He's going to root them all down to buy some time, but he can't do it. That's going to be game number 2 going over to Simplicity. They'll even take Hasu down. The bear is back, but the core is not. That's going to be game to Simplicity.
That was a great Valk from Hosty.
Oh yeah, it was. Hosty with the Valkyrie 2 times that game to take out the healer of 30k, to catch BBJ twice in one game. And with that, Simplicity are 2-0 up, 1 game away from moving on to that top 4. Simplicity playing real nice right now. Can they close it out? It comes down to this. Of course, the mainstream will be taking a quick break because they've cast 2 games in a row, so they'll be having a quick break. So we'll be talking about statistics while they do so. You saw moments of power from that 30k composition, but Malthael unable to get the real damage output they needed onto the Genji in particular. A great pickup by Lutano, and the final pickup for Simplicity. Really, really smart, utilizing that backline pressure and that avoidance of anyone being able to really pressure them except for Varian and a little bit of Rexar. They played that very, very well. The backline pressure was beautiful. Gives Cassia a lot more freedom, which is why we were able to see so many insane Valkyries. Very nicely done. Cure sustaining through as well. Top damage build. Really going deep. I am really glad that Ariat Crater is meta. It's really, really fun to see. Excuse me. That's going to be game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. 1 game away. This is a position that Simplicity have been in 3 times now in 2 days. Both other times they were in this position, they did lose the next game. They always lost game number 3. They lost game number 3 to Granite. They lost game number 3 to... They lost game number 3 to... Wow, my brain is just dead. 2 Sidestep Kings. Will they lose game number 3 to 30k? Or can Simplicity finally get a clean sweep? 2-0 in their favor. 1 game away from closing this out. Let's have a look at some statistics, but first let's have a look at what these teams are playing for. As a reminder, we are in the last round of the Gauntlet phase. As you can see in the Gauntlet earlier on, all the replays will be on my channel in the next couple days. Granite Gaming beat out Chili Mountain in a 3-0, getting revenge for the group phase. We can see that in the end, what is that Cure build? It's the Hyper Aggro build. I mean, to be fair, hang on, I'll bring you back to this so I can explain this. The Hyper Slam build is actually meta, but it's usually with Giant Slayer. The level 16. Oh, okay. Thank you, Observer. It's usually with that. But in this case, he went for the Rampage because it gave him a little bit of extra backline pressure instead of frontline pressure, because the percentage damage would only be useful on Varian, and the Spear cooldown reduction gave him more value from the Poison Spear. The only thing that's a little bit crazy is the fact that he went for the Leap Ariat Crater combo, but honestly, that's like every Sonya now. Every Sonya is playing Leap these days. We've seen like 1 Wrath in quite a long time. Simplicity were able to beat out Granite Gaming in a 3-1 at the second phase of the Gauntlet, losing game number 3. They then went against Sidestep Kings earlier today, in fact. They're coming off a series already where they played brutally in the first series, but Sidestep Kings giving them the best competition yet. Definitely closer than some of the other series, but once again, Sidestep Kings only winning game number 3. Simplicity winning game... Wow, I can't talk. Simplicity winning games number 1, 2, and 4. Will Simplicity repeat the exact same play again? That is the question. The winner of this series moves on to play against Crowd Control in the final bracket. The final chance to make a comeback. Wild Heart Esports versus Oxygen will be one of our games. And Crowd Control, #1 seed, winner of the Icebreaker tournament, Crowd Control, will be playing the winner of this series. Who thinks they can take them on? That is the question. For now, let's talk about players. We've talked about most of the players in the series before because they've all shown up so repeatedly. And while the mainstream is taking its coffee break, we can talk about whoever we want. Let's talk about Lutano. Lutano is a god tier player, has been around for a not too long time, only really started coming to attention during HGC time, where he played on Even in Death. A team that some of you may remember actually had a little bit of controversy behind it due to, named themselves due to a controversy using the talent Even in Death. I don't think they're the ones who abused it, I think that they took it from someone else. But yes, they had there was a little bit of controversy around that talent back in the day, but they made it into the pro phase for HGC, and they came 8th. Last place, got absolutely bodied. Didn't do too well. It wasn't a good time for them. I'm trying to find playoffs, because I can't remember if that team won or lost in Crucible. Where's that? Open Division, Crucible, NA. Even in Death they did. Even in Death lost to Heroes Hearth. There it is. So yes, Lutano, his first team, got eliminated from HGC in 2017 for the 2018 season. Good lord me. And had to come back in the next season. He came back with Team Freedom, got picked up by them, where he came back and did pretty reasonably. In Phase 1, his team finishing in 4th place. Not half bad. They finished in 7th to 8th at the first Western Clash in 2018, losing to Team Zealots, which, if you remember our stuff from earlier, went on to do very, very well in the Western Clash. They did quite a good job. That is Western Clash #1, of course. In Western, once again, 4th place in the main season. Lutano with Team Freedom, which, again, you may recognize quite a lot of the players on that Team Freedom roster. Collusion, who was on this team before, and Lutano. Nasbus is a player who's been picked up. Zalgrog and Yoda, also very experienced players. Cure was on this team at some point as well, so very familiar names for a lot of these players. At Western Clash #2, they came 3rd, knocking out Team Liquid, the only American team to make it through the first round, being able to get their way through, beating Team Liquid. Team Freedom kept the hope of North America alive, but did lose in 3rd place to Leftovers, who went on to do very, very well. And then, of course, at the North American Pro League, they finished 3rd, once again losing to Tempo Storm, and thus not making it to BlizzCon. So they did not make it there in the end. They then made Team Freedom, which is one of the most legendary meme and post-HGC rosters that we've ever had. So it's nice to see them coming in here. Team Freedom proceeded to get first in Toasty and Gladman's Heroes Invitational, which was awesome. That was always lovely and brilliant. I miss Toasty and Gladman. I never got to know them as well as most people did. Never really even got to speak to them, and it's such a shame. They've done so much for our scene. I really wish I could say thank you to them in person. It'd be lovely. Or at least over the internet, not in person. There's kind of a whole thing going on right now. They then won the Heroes Hype Premier Series North America Season 1. They won the Premier Series. They then won Premier Series Season 2, Cup 5, 6, and they won Season 1 as well, losing to LFW. The only really big tournament that they lost in 2019. Team Freedom putting on a superb performance. Seriously, if you look at their 2019 play schedule, it's just a plethora of firsts. Hang on, I'll read them. I'll speed run them. Fight Night, first. Toasty Gladman, first. Fight Night 2, first. Second place in Cup 1 for Heroes Hype Premier. First in Cup 2, 3, 4. Second in 6. I don't know what happened to 5. First in Phase 2 for Cup 1, 2, and 3. 5th to 8th in Cup 4, losing to Team Good Guys, who showed up again. And then first in 5 and 6, before eventually coming second in the finals again to LFW. In 2020, NAGM Captain's Draft was a thing that happened. They came 7th to 8th. Team Nintori, Team Liam, familiar name as well, on the side of 30k in this case, was able to beat them out when it came to that. And of course, in the Icebreaker tournament, not so well. Simplicity came 5th to 8th, losing in round number 1. But we know that Lutano, one of the most successful players, a second he got off of Even in Death, he was able to step up, he was able to show what he is made of. Let's get in. The draft has begun. Potentially the last game. Can 30k do what Granite Gaming and Sidestep Kings could not and pull off the reverse sweep versus Simplicity, or will Simplicity close out this series here and now? The Johanna ban, very interesting. A little bit too rough to deal with, those blessed shields from Simplicity. Masquerade causing too much grief for the members of 30k. Just going to remove it. It is Infernal Shrines. This is one of Johanna's best maps, so it's a safe ban. Excuse me. Chromie going to be removed. They let Uther through. Very interesting. Uther, Hogger, Tychus, Stukov, who's been kind of ignored by both these teams. All still available. What does Simplicity ban out? They ban the Diva. Insane on this map. It's a very safe ban. I like it a lot. 30k now. What do they choose as their first pick? They got a lot of options. That Hogger is available. They could unleash the Hogger. It would be their first time. 30k has yet to play Hogger. They start with Uther. 2 games, 100% win rate for 30k with this Uther. Very, very exciting to see. Hogger has, of course, been played by Simplicity. 50% win rate. More than that after the previous series, as Lutano will pick that up again. Potential triple bruiser available, or he can always swap it to Cure. And they get the Tychus. The biggest counter to that Hogger. They steal that away. Simplicity controlling the draft at this stage. We're seeing Leoric and Cassia being a little bit more flexible. They're not committing to anything so far. This could be a solo healer Uther. It is possible. They're not committing. The likelihood is double healer. But it is possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at 70 subs of our 100 sub goal before January. Thank you everyone so much for your support. We are currently getting ready to head into game number 3, potentially the last game of tonight. So if you've been enjoying the casting so far, please consider dropping a subscription or a donation via Streamlabs or Twitch Bits. No one is paying me for this except for all of your generosities, and it's the only reason I can keep doing this is by the generosity of all of you at home. Thank you for your support. Any extra is helpful because otherwise I have to find another job, especially during a pandemic. I have to find another job to be able to afford to eat. Malthael gonna be banned away. The Malthael Hogger combo was quite the pain in the butt for one of the other teams. So in this case, 30k, they want none of it. They're not gonna be like Sidestep Kings. They will not be hit by the same stuff. So now, Hogger Tychus on the board. Where do they go next? Diablo, perhaps? Deckard? And there's a Diablo. Hogger, of course, creates terrain. While other heroes who create terrain cannot be used by Hogger, Hogger cannot bounce off Force Wall or Ariat Crater because Blizzard hate fun, Diablo can use other heroes' terrain, even though there is nothing in either of their descriptions that differentiates the two in any way, shape, or form. But Diablo he is able to get stuns off of Hogwarts Terrain. Deathwing, Brightwing. It's a soul. It is a double healer. No surprise there. With Deathwing coming in once again. The main tank Deathwing. Cool to see it return. Or, of course, they could switch Uther onto Fury and give Hasu that Deathwing. Or give Azerite the Deathwing. I expect we'll probably see that swap. Fury will probably be playing Uther. And Simplicity against double support, they bust out the Mephisto. If you're going to be healing up, we're just going to make sure we have as much damage as possible. Going to bring themselves back in that way, give themselves the chance to break through your defense and make their way back into this series. Ladies and gentlemen, tell your friends, this could be the last game of the gauntlet phase of the CCL playoffs before we head into the main bracket. Unless 30k can pull off the comeback. We'll see if they can do it. For now, I hope you're all enjoying. Tell me if you are. Throw a little bit of love if you have it. And if you don't, then at least drop a follow and share. Talk about these casts on Reddit, on Twitter. Let people know. Because if you are like me and don't have a lot of money to throw around at people like me, then the biggest thing you can do is, if you want to support, is share and bring attention. This movement grows with people. So thank you very much for watching. Share it, talk about the cast, because it's time as we are heading into game number 3. 30k having to pull off the reverse sweep like Granite Gaming and Sidestep Kings before them, and it is Simplicity, the Slayers, killing everyone in their way, and now are ready to take down one more team and break their curse of losing game 3s as they make their way onto the map. Pretty standard talents across the board so far. We're seeing a Soul Shield for the Diablo. That is noteworthy. Mace cooldown for the Leoric makes a lot of sense. And Uther, the Silver Touch. All about, again, getting the cooldown reduction onto his Q so that he can get that extra Holy Shock. This keeps him sustained, this keeps him pressured, and keeps his mana up, so he can just keep himself up by spamming Q. Azerite poking in. Maybe a little bit of damage. BBJ comes in to assist Liam as Cure and Lutano try to rush down. These two sticking together once again. Not the first or last time they've done this. Cure, by the way, usually the off-lane hero, playing the Tychus this game. Lutano, apparently the Hogger player for this team, forcing Lutano into the off-roll a bit, but Lutano has been Cure has been very comfortable in the 4-man with some of his melee heroes already. Hero-wise, in terms of swaps to 30k, we were 100% correct. Hasu on the Dragon. We're going to see 30k play... 30k. We're going to see Fury playing that Uther. Wraith Walk by Liam, who kind of forgets to walk for a second, but he does make it out. Gets away from all danger. Mephisto starting off a pretty normal build as well. The Furious Spark coming in at level 1. He'll be building into a Spite at level 4, most likely. This is the most standard build these days. But he could also be going into a Static Barrier, but it's a little bit less likely these days. Level 7, also very flexible, so we will see. This is likely going to be a Spite. It isn't. We do go to Static Barrier. Mephisto going with a little bit more sustain than usual, as opposed to a cooldown reduction spam build. Speaking of spams, a Flame Stomp build for Masquerade. Mixing up his build a little bit as well. This is, in theory, one of the highest sustained builds, especially as it got buffed recently. Souls to the Flame. Getting a large chunk of healing at max souls can really keep Diablo tanked with a full flame build. Eternal Flames could be pretty good, and if not, Diabolic Momentum still works quite well with this. They can go into that Hellfire, or can just Devastating Charge build. Devastating Flames, underrated talent in my opinion. 25% damage reduction. Sorry, 50% damage reduction. Pretty decent when you're hitting basically the entire team. Underrated. BBJ underground. As we do see Mephisto diving in to finish off the kill. 6 feet under as Azerite dives for one counter kill, looking for Cure, cannot find it. There's the roof of the Scroll of Sea. They're going to try and take out Azerite, but Masquerade has gone very deep, just in time with the potion from Legacy to keep him alive. Both these teams trading back and forth, but the kill only goes over to Simplicity. Brightwing will be able to come back in and immediately teleports into Azerite. Tops him up a little bit. The double healing coming in. The meantime, though, the objective is going over to Simplicity, but Hogger with the Bruiser Camp has pushed in top very hard with that level 7. A little bit earlier for Simplicity. Deathwing has to fly to the sky and is going to have to land top to help clear that out. The entire front wall already cleaned up. There's Deathwing landing up there. Level 7 on the board. There's the peekaboo for Brightwing. Going with the Hand of Protection from Uther. A little bit of an extra cleanse. Brightwing does not have an efficient cleanse, and there's a large amount of CC here. Makes sense to go a little bit safer. Drain momentum for the Leoric here. Wants to be mobile. Wants to chase Masquerade. Wants to bully Hogger. These are good ways to do it. Get that extra movement speed. Keep chasing him. Play to the Whale for Cassia, as well as Surge of Light. Sticking pretty normal in terms of talents. Masquerade looking for someone. Great stun by Fury. Completely shuts down the engage. XP pretty even. Punisher took down the entire front wall and most of the fort, but again, top towers went down as well to the camp. So in general, the amount of stuff that actually died worked out pretty evenly. Hogger still pushing out top lane though, still causing pressure as Hasu makes his way down to the rest of the team. Very far forward compared to the rest of the team, really putting on the pressure there. Using the Lava Burst to keep vision onto that bush, make sure they don't get engaged. Leoric has finally made his way up to top and will clear out the pressure that Hogger's been applying. Those two heroes will double soak for a bit, while the rest of the team contests over these camps. Great vision being applied by Hasselhoffs here. Vision can equal wins. Know where your opponents are, you know where to rotate. You know you don't get ganked. It's a very smart play if you have the opportunity to gain more vision, to try and do so, as long as it doesn't put you in danger. Or, you know, waste a big cooldown. You shouldn't use Peekaboo just for vision. Hortapult. You see the Commandeer Odin, no surprise there. Stay a while and listen. The Durance of Hate, because we never see Consume Souls. On the other side, Divine Shield, not going for a big wombo. Blink Heal, Bellowing Roar, Entomb, Ball, Lightning. Diablo, yet to pick. Durance Apoc, pretty good. Durance Lightning Breath, pretty good. They're going for the damage. This, of course, is a little bit less of a good follow-up to, say, the Stay a While and Listen, but the damage output could still be very, very strong here. Lutano keeps on the pressure. Leoric makes his way up. They're doing their best. It's slow, it's steady. Hasu's missing 3 minions worth of XP here. Lutano forced to roll. He does get out of there. Hog Wild avoids the stun from Uther on the Hammer of the Lightbringer. Hasu, good stun. Stops Cure from draining him. It's a bigger they are. Tychus, of course, wants to get rid of as many armor plates on that Deathwing as possible, so bigger they are, a little bit more sensible against a Deathwing. Even though it is very satisfying to hear the dings, I am aware, and I am so with you, I still pick in the rhythm sometimes when I'm against the Deathwing, even though I know bigger they are is better, because I really like to hear the ding. It gives me all the serotonin. As we do see top getting taken, camps available for both teams. Both teams going to get that Bruiser to assist them with their push. Objective going to be activated by 30k first. Both teams still soaking. Deathwing and Brightwing, both soaking experience. Deathwing will make its way back to the sky. Brightwing will stay. They're both trying to race to level 13 as Hogger is clearing out bottom lane. Brightwing cleaning out mid. You can see him hiding under towers for a bit in case anyone wasn't at the objective. Hasu Lands in the bush. Scout sees who's here. That's alright. Accidentally dodging Fury's healing there. Getting away from the danger. Hosty dives in. 13 available for Simplicity. Not yet for 30k. As Brightwing is actually going to be interrupted in the rotation. Furious Spark for the Mephisto here. And it looks like the objective just will not be contested. Lutano just tries to pressure BBJ. Not doing so great here. BBJ trading very effectively. Wellmet comes in. We see the Infernus. There's the breath. Easy make of and counter breath with the lightning breath. It's fire versus lightning as they push their way forward. The Entomb was already burned during this. Durance was used, does not get the effect they would like. Masquerade tackles a minion to try and dive the backline. But in that fight, you can see the Punisher was completely deleted, did not get the value they were looking for. Let's see that again. It was a fun fight. You can see the Odin getting popped. That's the trigger. Jump onto Diablo. The Entomb was burned. Molten Breath came out. Durance was dropped. Did not land. Everyone else from 30k was able to retreat out of it, except for Deathwing, who was not affected. It was a great little retreat, very safe and sound, and a smart play by Diablo to the second he was free of crowd control to drop that lightning breath, because it made him unstoppable. Gave him a couple extra seconds to avoid just getting locked down and burst. He was making sure he could zone, he was slowing for the Durance, and that's what forced the retreat out of 30k. All of those abilities in one place, a little too risky for them to fight in. They backed up. It's a nice heads-up play from Simplicity. They were able to defend. Top 4 might still die. Leo's going in. Gonna try and race that down. Diablo's coming up as well. They want to see if they can punish him, but it is Leoric. Can they make it? They don't go for Leo, but Leo doesn't finish top either. It's an intense battle up there that I wish we were seeing. Hog has cleared out all the minions. Liam has not finished the fort yet. He's having trouble. He's going to be forced to Wraith Walk out of there. Bot lane, though, also under pressure. Slight issues here for Simplicity. The multiple lanes worth of attention they're being forced to spend as Fury goes in. Sorry, we saw Masquerade going in for Fury. Tried to charge in. Could not find it. Fury is on point with these stuns, preventing any hard engage. Very nicely done indeed. Really picking up their potential here. Leo still waiting for the minion wave. Setting himself up. Both teams creeping towards level 16. 30k looking to continue the curse of Simplicity of them losing game 3s because they are quite ahead in terms of structures. XP's pretty even once this wave dies. Fury's made his way up top, seeing if he can help out Leo, help out the Liam Leo. Level 16 hits. Benediction. Azerite does see Lutano. They don't have Valkyrie. They force out the Hogwild. Lutano is able to bounce away. But top 4 does die. Here comes the engage. Masquerade looking for it. Slowed down. Demounted. Great stun. And it's Leo who's in danger. But guess what? Wraithwalk, baby. Goodbye. Liam's just going to retreat. Cure goes very deep, and that's enough for a retreat. And they didn't even need to bring Brightwing. 30k coming out very far ahead on that. Getting Brightwing to stay bot lane and keep the pressure on, giving them an extra lane worth of soak is a very big deal. They come out very nicely there. 30k holding a lead now. Titan Grenade, by the way, for Tychus, going for a little bit of an extra burst. No sizzle in attacks. Here's the focus. No attacks at all if he doesn't live this. The Molten Breath with Conflagration cooks him to death. The bellowing roar cleans the team in twain as he comes in for the Cataclysm as well. Azerite tanks the Lightning Breath. He's trying to tank through Lutano as well. Hosty is untouched in this fight, but it does not matter. Here comes Hogger trying to escape death, as that is a very convincingly won fight for 30k. 3 for 1. Diablo is back, but with no souls. And you can see everyone from 30k going back to get some Fountain because they got dunked. But they did win the fight. 18 to 10. Will we see Hosty dive in to try and sneak a couple more? Looks like we will just see Simplicity abandon this. Simplicity go to soak. Liam finished off the Bruiser camp, proxying the wave, creating more lanes worth of pressure. But Fort still low, was weakened by the Brightwing push from earlier. Punisher about to push mid. Everyone healthy, and Brightwing able to teleport in at any time. 30k are out macroing Simplicity, and they are doing so well. Simplicity slowly dropping piece by piece. It's another pummel on the Hogger. The spell power reduction, very good against heroes like Deathwing, who is still affected by damage reduction. Hogger pulling the Punisher. Baiting it over. The Entomb. It traps Nutano away. He blocks himself in. Durance does not land. Durance just short of range. It goes on the full cooldown. Very unlucky there for Mephisto. They pull the Punisher with Cure on that Tychus, and they're going to be able to prevent the keep from going down, but this will be the final fort of the game, dropping to 30k. 30k keeps the pressure piling on over and over again. Holding their lead very nicely here. Simplicity, they're going to have to pull off a very big play to make their way back in. They do have static field now. 10% max health damage, more percentage for that Mephisto, percentage damage for the Hogger. They have a lot now. Of course, percentage damage from the Hogger does not work on Hasu, because it requires you to actually stun someone. Wait, does it? Or am I imagining that? They're going to try and get Lutano. Chasing him down. Nope, goodbye. Entomb does not stop Hogwild, because the Blizzard hates fun. Entomb is kind of rubbish against Togger, because he can just spin out of it. It's really, really disappointing. Yeah, to ride with terrain. So yeah, no percentage damage from Hogger against Deathwing. Hogger goes in. Hogger goes too far in, but they're going to try and turn this into a fight anyway. Azerite is low. Horde Bolt has to be used to escape. Liam comes in. Tomb in 20 seconds. Buried alive as level 20 is hit. Invisible Friends. Sustaining the team up. Redemption for Uther. Wants to make sure that he is still going. Infinite Lightning stood in the fire for Hasuov. Even more damage for him. Odin is popped. And that's probably going to be enough to zone the rest of 30k out. They weaken the keep, but it doesn't look like they'll finish it. They're forced to back up. Entomb is back, though. They may try and look for a quick kill here. You can see the warning pings. Hosty reveals the invisible Leoric. It's really risky to leave Leoric invisible. That invisible Entomb could be a game-ending condition if you let it stay that way. But Liam re-stealthed by BBJ. Liam going to wait for the true invisibility. He is fully stealthed now. He's going to move forward. They're going for Diablo. There's the Entomb buried alive. Drain home. Infernus Conflagration. He's cooked as they dive into the backline. But that was a really good Durance as they dive in. There's the fear onto Mephisto, but he's still chasing in. Leo drops, but they hunt for Legacy. Cataclysm splits the team. Fury is low, but he's tanking through. He still has redemption if he falls. No control as level 20 is hit. Now goes Deathwing. Hogger is cleaning up. Lutano diving forward. Looks for Azerite. He doesn't get the bounce. Azerite gets away. That's a 2-for-1 though in favor of Simplicity. They take a fight this time. With level 20 hitting at the perfect time, they grab the kills. Camp on the bot lane is going to be very much a problem for Simplicity though. They're just going to rush top, grab the objective as fast as possible and try and get a keep of their own with it, because there's a very good chance that they are just going to lose bot keep, and there's not a huge amount they can do about it. The question is, with Deathwing being the only person not alive, how far to 30k push? You can see a lot of members of Simplicity backing up because they realize that their keep is in danger and potentially their core. Because Deathwing could just land. If they don't all port, that could be a backdoor. Looks like they are going to back up. They've left Tychus on the objective. Deathwing is going to be back in 4 seconds. Can rejoin the team. But that back door is always open now, with double global potential. Making their way forward. Stun. Entomb. Buried alive. Focusing. Deathwing's not here. He's not here. He's not available. He's only just into the sky. That's 2 deaths. Both supports down. Redemption is available. He's trying to keep Azerite alive. Liam is going to give his life to get everyone else back. But Deathwing was not there during that fight. He hadn't even taken off yet. A disaster for 30k, a fight that they should not have taken. And they're in serious trouble. They land. They grab a siege camp. The Impalers will be killed before they get too much damage onto the core. This will not be a problem. In fact, Diablo is going to go back and deal with them anyway. Redemption is burned. At 30k, they may have just thrown away their lead with that fight before Deathwing could arrive. This could be a disaster for them. Cure's going to back up. He in no way wants to stay around with Liam respawning, though. 37 left. They want to clear out their waves. They don't want to die to minions while they're pushing with a Punisher. So clear out mid, clear out bot, then head up, finish those last 3 off, and try and end the game. 30k, they still have a chance. They're going to try and just race down. If they can hold Simplicity back, they can take this. In fact, there's 2 catapults on top on bot lane. The more pressure they put with this, the more value they'll get. Deathwing trying to scout the bush a little bit too far back. Fury sees everything. Lot of damage onto Hasu there, but he's able to tank through. Hogger just doing what he can on the bot lane, but he's really got to come help his team. Mortar Punisher does go over to Simplicity. They're able to finish it at the end. Liam is low. There's the Entomb. Buried alive. Stay on and listen. With respect, the elderly for the turnaround. Uther is silenced. Leoric, the first to fall. Hogger makes his way up to the fight. He is going to make it here in time. Fury on the run. He is completely alone here. Will they let him go? Yes, they're going to push with the Punisher. Fury was trying to cause a distraction, cause a delay. Fury is going to port back to base to help his team defend. No backdoor attempt coming in this time. They're all just going to try and stay alive. Azerite in serious trouble. Very, very isolated. He's trying to stay alive, but too much damage from Holstein. He's on the run, but the minions will finish Azerite off. Hasu pulls a delay. He pulls the Punisher towards mid lane to buy his team some time, but the core is going to be vulnerable very shortly. Leo will be back in 2 seconds. They will not have Cassia. He comes down to the 4v5. Can Simplicity hold? Can Simplicity push it in? Can 30k hold in a numbers down fight? Entomb is back up. One last chance to hold it. That's a big bellowing roar. It buys them time. There's the Entomb buried alive. They try to roast Mephisto. Hosty gets out. Liam is dropping low. The Punisher's already on the core. As Hasu tries to hold this off, he makes it into base. Hogger is going wild. BBJ blinks to Liam to try and keep him alive. He's trying to drain Hasu. He's trying to drain Masquerade. Hasu trying to burn them. He misses. Hasu does not land the fire. They're trying to stun him out, but the Punisher is too healthy. That is game. And Simplicity break the curse. They will be moving on to be in the final 4 of the CCL. Simplicity have broken the curse. They are victorious at the end, able to finally win a game number 3. Simplicity in a 3-0 take down 30k, and they will move on to play against Crowd Control in the final bracket of CCL playoffs. Beautiful games by both teams, but Simplicity were the better team on the day. 65,000 damage from Hosty, putting on a clinic there. Lutano, less damage than before, but causing enough grief in the backline and keeping those waves clear. Lutano kept the macro game just recoverable enough for the members of 30k to the point where they were able to stay alive and that they were able to live through this game long enough. Stay on, listen at the end on that final objective fight from Legacy with Respect the Elderly, an insane play that kept them in it. The Tychus usage, Cure proving he's just as good of a Tychus as Lutano, able to keep the damage going. Commiserations to 30k, getting so close, but they are pipped at the final hurdle. Simplicity will be moving on, and this is where they will be fighting. I'm going to refresh this, so it's about to look weird for a second. My apologies. And insane series between these two teams. Very nicely done. But with that, Simplicity, they finally break their spree. They get a 3-0 over 30k, meaning that it comes down to this. The final bracket phase of CCL. 30k will not make it this time. Simplicity fighting their way through from 5th seed. They fight their way through. 6th seed. Why? Wait, what were they? Shitty Mountain? 30k. That's 5 and 7. Yeah, they were 6th. Wow, I can really not do maths. I really, really can't. Simplicity fighting their way through from 6th seed. Fighting their way through 5th and 4th and 7th also. They now have to go against the number 1 seed, Crowd Control. The other game will be Wild Heart Esports. As you can see on this, this is double elimination to decide who will be victorious. So there's still an extra chance, even if they go down. Simplicity putting on an absolute belter of a performance to make it this far. Huge congratulations to them. But that is the end of my stream. I'm gonna start a rerun for you all so that you can see the games if you came in late or missed a couple. But if you enjoyed, please consider supporting the stream. I can only keep doing this with the support of people like you. If you want to pay, if you have a little bit of money to spare, subbing or donating is a great way to support. We're aiming for 100 subs before the end of January. We are at 70. It's 100% doable. If you are watching on YouTube, the join button or the Streamlabs link below the stream. Great ways to support. If you don't have any money, hit a follow and talk about this stream. Share it. Reddit, when we talk about the CCL games. Oolada, thank you very much. Ooladada. Oolalada. I always get it wrong.
I enjoyed myself, but had a question not related to CCL. So I wanted to wait.
I will answer that in just a moment, but just again, if you want to talk about, if you want to support the stream without paying any money, then be active in the community. When the CCL posts on Reddit, maybe talk about this stream, draw people's attention to it. On Twitter, maybe see if you can bring people over, because this movement in Heroes grows with people, and you can help by sharing and helping. It's completely free to you. And it's a great way to help the stream. Also, drop a follow or a subscribe on YouTube so you can see when I go live and when I do these things. Ulana, what's your question? Because otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your support. I can only keep doing this with all of your support and your help. It sucks being looked over again. HGC did it for 3 years. They looked me over. Every other event was hiring me, but HGC kept looking me over for 3 years, or at least Blizzard did, and I had to be hired by other people. I still fought through, and I still made it, and I want to do that again. Just because they're ignoring me again doesn't mean I'm going to stop being there and being a pain to them. Well, not a pain. I'm just trying to do the stream and have a good time. So yeah, well, Anna, what's your question before we head off? We shall wait for a little bit, and then I will have to disappear if I don't see the question. If not, you can always ask in Discord. So that's always a thing. Does Faye still stream, as she is still in your Heroes Gives Chase macro? She is, because I believe she is playing tomorrow. Heroes Give Chase is back tomorrow, by the way, assuming all the players don't cancel last second again. But yeah, I think she's I don't know if she still streams. I think she's doing a lot of writing, especially for Heroes Hype at the moment. Sorry, Heroes Hearth at the moment. So check that out for a lot of Giant Slayer stuff. So yeah, I think she's still around. She's still doing stuff. I don't know if she streams full-time, though. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all very much for watching and for supporting. Have a wonderful evening. I have been Tetcher, and I will see you all next time. If there is a DMT stream tomorrow, tune into that. Heroes Give Chase. It is once again on this channel. Follow me on Twitter so you can see when that goes live. Thank you very much for watching, and see you all next time. Good night.